Anyhow, I have a couple of announcements, short announcements that need to be made. There will be a short meeting today after the service for anyone wanting to participate in this year's Pride Parade or the Scooja Fall Festival. Get your refreshments and join us after the service. Get your refreshments in the back and join us in room 9. Also, in room 10, there will be a meeting of the animal ministry people. So room 9, room 10 will be staying busy. Thank you. Please stand now and join me in the congregational covenant as found in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. Dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve others in community. Thus do we covenant with one another. Thank you. Please be seated. Unitarian Universalism is a diverse and non-creedal religion. We are a covenantal religion, which means we don't have to believe the same in order to treat each other the same, with respect, equity, compassion, and dignity. Our community is based on deeds, not creeds. We side with love, embracing all people, regardless of age, color, race, socioeconomic status, physical ability, or religious background. We are officially designated by the Unitarian Universalist Association as a welcoming congregation, which means that we welcome LGBTQ+ individuals. Your questions and comments are always welcomed by our board members and our committee chairs. Our board members may be recognized by their green name tags. Now, for the fun part, we would like to recognize any guests or visitors who are with us here today. So visitors, if you are willing and able, please wait for the microphone to come around and then rise and share with us your name and where you're from. So hang on a minute, visitors.
I am Scott. This is my wife, Kathy, and my daughter, Tegan, and we're from Hartsville, South Carolina.
Good morning. I'm Rachel. This is my daughter, Ripley, and my son, Jamie, and we've visited with you before. We were actually here today. We thought that the kids had the art thing at 11. Oh, okay, so when he said stay in, I was like, okay. But thanks for having us again.
I'm Lydia. This is my kid, Arthur, and my husband, Eric. We live in Irmo.
Hi, my name is Jessalyn, and I live in Columbia.
Anybody else back there?
Hey, I'm John, here with my wife, Rachel. I'm from here in Columbia.
Hi, I'm Christy from Michigan. I'm Anna's mom, and I'm here to meet baby Lyndon.
Thank you. Grandmother, glad to have you. Glad to have you here. She's talking about her newest addition to the family, our music director's new son. Okay, visitors, if you would like to know more about us, please fill out a visitor card that should be in the back of a chair in front of you and place it in the collection plate when that comes around. We do encourage everybody to wear name tags so that we can get to know each other better. So, at this time, let's take a couple of minutes to greet each other, and I'll bring you back to order in a moment. But turn around, say hello, take a big smile, fist bump, whatever. The going out music. You told her? Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if we can come back together, please. Come back together in your seats. I know this is a fun time, and I need my chime again. Linda? It's now time for our chalice lighting. I think if we let this thing go on forever with you greeting each other, we'd be here all day. But anyhow, it is now time for our chalice lighting. September for us is Hispanic Heritage Month. You may remember the first service of this month that we had, where we had special representatives. So during this service, let us recognize and acknowledge the history, the heritage, and the accomplishments of Hispanic and Latino Americans of the Unitarian Universalist Church. Spirit of life and light, come unto us. Thank you, Linda.
I invite you to join in singing our opening hymn. Number 312 is in your gray hymnals. And I invite you to stand as you're willing and able to join in singing.
Please be seated.
Oh, thank you, Richard. We've had to adjust a little bit today with Reverend Stephen family being affected by COVID, and he really didn't want to come and chance, spreading it here, but that's what's going on today. And he did give me some opening words to read. These are the opening words that Stephen has provided, and they are by the Reverend Forrest Church, a very famous deceased now, unfortunately, Unitarian minister from All Souls up in New York. Where's your church? We're standing in it. But this is a bookstore, and it's Friday. Yes, but you might also choose to see it as a cathedral of the human spirit, a storehouse consecrated to the full spectrum of human experience. Just about every idea we've ever had is in here somewhere. A place containing great thinking is a sacred place, by Forrest Church. And now I would like to tell you that this congregation participates in Share the Plate. Share the Plate is a way of giving back to the community in which we live. And today, speaking to us about our Share the Plate recipient for this month will be the Reverend Tiffany Adams from the Harriet Hancock LGBTQ Center. I see some of you studiously studying your orders of service. Yes, this is out of order, but we made a little adjustment today. We are aware. Reverend Tiffany Adams, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me and for making that adjustment. As I am a pastor of my own congregation, I have to book it over to West Columbia, right into the pulpit and begin preaching. So I appreciate that adjustment. I come to you on behalf of my fellow board members, Matthew Butler, our president, Gerald McNair, our vice president, Andrew Morrison, Christian Hesh, Almond Barron, Donald Wood, Mark Flournoy, who will be with you all later this month, as well as Adam Silvernail. And most importantly, our namesake, Harriet Hancock herself. I bring you greetings and gratitude on behalf of the Harriet Hancock Center, LGBTQ Center and Foundation. I am Reverend Tiffany Adams, and I am the founder and senior pastor of the Way Columbia in West Columbia. First of all, we'll start out, many of you already know Mother Harriet, as we affectionately call her in the community, but for those who do not, let me introduce you briefly to some of her contributions here in the community. Harriet is a founder or co-founder of 4 state organizations that have made South Carolina a better place for gays, lesbians, their families, and people living with HIV or AIDS. In 1982, not long after her own son came out to her, Harriet founded the Columbia chapter of PFLAG, Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays, the first PFLAG chapter in South Carolina. And in 1985, along with 3 other people, Harriet co-founded what we now know of as PALS, Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services, which has over the years become the primary, if not the, then one of the primary AIDS service organizations in the Midlands. And in 1989, after a gay and lesbian community picnic, Harriet and a small group of gay and lesbian South Carolinians organized the very first South Carolina Gay and Lesbian Pride March. And so as the march moved from an annual event to an actual organization working on LGBTQ issues, the name changed to the Gay and Lesbian Pride Movement, and now we know it as the South Carolina Pride Movement. And one of the things that we're happy about is as of this year, the South Carolina Pride Movement will come back and call the Harriet Hancock Center its home. And so we're so excited about that, to welcome an organization that she helped found back to the Harriet Hancock Center as its headquarters, as its location. And so we're happy about that. Harriet was also a part of the group who facilitated the Gay and Lesbian Pride at that time purchase of the building that ended up becoming the state's first gay and lesbian community center. And so we're kind of famous, a little bit famous out in the gay world, all right? We have the very first gay and lesbian community center. I can make those jokes, I'm in the community. Oh my goodness. And so she's historic within herself. and I'm just happy to be a part of it. Really quickly, I was given 3 minutes. I think I've used 1.5 already. So, the Harriet Hancock Center is special to me. My congregation celebrates 14 years next weekend, but we were founded in the center. We were founded in the center as a Bible study. The center, because of funding from the community and grants and programs, was able to extend to us a weekly meeting time for Bible study on Wednesday nights from 7 to 9. And that launched our ministry. We were in the center operating weekly on Wednesdays for 2 years before we went into our own space. We got our leased space in West Columbia, where we've been since. And as the founder, I can't tell you how much that, I'm sorry, I just get, when I think about colleagues who have founded ministries within what I call the affirming movement, the challenges they had to face that we didn't have to face. We could start with a dream, with a vision, and because of the center, we were able to have a place to meet where my colleagues have to spend anywhere from $250 to $1,000 a month just to have like a simple Bible study. We're not talking about a leased space that they have all week long or all month long. And so that made it possible for me to be able to serve countless people within the community who needed to reconcile their faith and their sexuality. And so I always say that the Harriet Hancock Center is one of the reasons why we started, why we exist, and so I always pay homage. And so becoming a part of the board over this past year has been a dream, to be able to then give back to the community that helped me launch our efforts in the community. The Harriet Hancock Center is currently the meeting site for Pages of Pride Book Club, Queer Collective, Shades Social Group, Transfusion, and our Heart and our Pride and our Joy Youth Out Loud. It also houses the Sam Nichols Memorial Library. I believe I still owe them some books back, so I'm glad we don't fine people. But I'm just very excited for what you all are doing for us by sharing your plate this Sunday and the next Sunday. Thank you so much for your help. Every cent counts because we are fully funded by giving. And so we're so grateful. Again, on behalf of the Board of Directors for the Harriet Hancock Center, I want to thank the Unitarian Universalist family for sharing the plate with us today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great. Thank you. Tiffany, you're still here. Yes, thank you. That was great. It's now time for our children's story of all ages, as soon as I gather all my props that I've spilled on the ground here. Anyhow, it is time for our story for all ages, and we list it as a children's story for all ages, but it also includes anybody who can get down on the floor here and get back up later. Reverend Stephen does it when he's telling the story, but I'm not about to try. That's why I brought the chair. Children, young folks, come on down, if you will. Come on down front. I have some stuff to talk to you. I have stuff to talk to you about. Oh, we have a nice crowd today. Look at this. Yeah, I'm going to sit in this chair, so just kind of sit around somewhere. Wow. Yeah, okay, let's see. Still coming. Wow. Suffer the little children. Ooh, little ones, big ones, all over. Oh, and he's got I didn't see the Scotland shirt. Wow, now he's really my man.
Medium ones.
Medium? Oh, wow, you have wow. Yeah, you're the same family, yeah. Anyhow, let me start on a story, which is really not a story. Oh, more. I'm impressed. I'm impressed when adults can get down on the floor and get back up. Anyhow, this is not a story as such, but it's something to ask you about what kind of stuff you know. This month, September, is what we call Hispanic Heritage Month. What that means is that there are people in the Hispanic world who have a heritage of their own that we need to understand and we need to study on them. Yes.
Oh, that's Hispanic mean?
What does Hispanic mean? Oh, we have answers. You really don't need me up here.
It means you speak Spanish and like you live in Mexico or Spain, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, she said they speak Spanish, they live in Mexico, like that. Is that a good definition? That's close enough, all right? Anyhow, they are people who are different than us in that they live in different places, they have different cultures, they have a different language. So that's what I'm going to ask you about today. Do any of you know anything about the Spanish language? Do you know any words?
There's a Spanish class at our school, and we learn Spanish.
Oh, so you study Spanish at your school? Okay. Did you have? No. Please go. Yes.
I used to do Spanish on Duolingo and at Thomas Hart, but now that I'm at Butler Academy, I don't do that anymore.
I see. Well, thank you for that enumeration of what you don't do anymore. Yes.
And also, when we speak Spanish, we have to say aloha.
Okay. All right. Very good. Yes.
Never mind.
All right, so who knows a Spanish word? That's what I want to know. Who knows it? Emilio, yes, you're good. It's good to know. Okay, you know a Spanish word. Somebody want to tell me what it is?
La cucaracha.
La cucaracha. What's your?
I can do two.
What are
they? Hola and adios.
And what does that mean?
Hello and goodbye.
Okay. Well said. Yes. What do you know?
Espanol.
Espanol. Yes, that is a Spanish word. That was Edgar and Thomas. Yes. What do you know?
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches, which means?
Good night.
Yes. Good night, good evening, good afternoon. Yes. What do you know?
Stella.
Say that again. I couldn't hear.
I forgot. Stella. Do you say Stella?
I think I heard something like Bella.
Stella, I think is what I remember.
Bella. Okay. All right. Anyhow, you do know some words, don't you? But suppose you came in touch with somebody who could only speak Spanish, they didn't know English, or you're a person who speaks English and couldn't speak Spanish. How would you communicate with them? How would you talk to them? What would you do? Yes.
Wave, and I think that's...
Okay, you would wave at them. What would you do?
You can write what you want to say.
Okay, you could write. What else might you do to communicate with somebody who didn't speak your same language?
You could use like a translating app, maybe.
Okay, technology at work, right here on the floor. You could use a translating app, yes.
Do sign language?
Yes, you could use sign language. I'm not sure how that would work, but yes, that might work. Anyhow, I have a thought. How do you say smile in Spanish? Yes.
You say it as...
I didn't understand.
No, like...
Oh, yeah. You should see this face. He takes his cheeks and pulls them apart like making a big smile. Anyhow, is the emotion the same in English as it is in Spanish for smiling? So when you smile at somebody, what does that mean? It means, yes, like hello and everyone else. How do you laugh in Spanish? How do you laugh in that language? How do you laugh in French? How do you laugh in Chinese? How do you laugh in Canadian? How do you? And then how do you smile in Spanish? How do you? Okay, I think you've got the idea. So you can communicate with anybody in the world with a different language by smiling, by laughing with them. It's the thing that we have in common. So that's the point I wanted to get across to you today. So you are dismissed to go to, where are they going, Nancy? No, back to the back. Going back to the back. Oh, you. Good to see you all. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Always fun with the kids, and they usually do most of the story, right? It's now time for our candles of community. If you have a significant personal joy, sorrow, or concern you would like to have shared from this pulpit, please email them to our administrator by noon on Friday. But if you wish to share in person, we request that you pick up a candle in the foyer prior to the service, which you can do out there. There's a basket full of them. We have an active caring committee for those in need that might express a concern here. They wear yellow name tags if you see them. So if you know of anybody who needs particular caring in your joy or concern, contact them. We didn't have any particular candles or submission that anybody. Yes, it's a time. So those of you who have candles, Jonathan, looks like you're anxious here. Oh, okay. Anyhow, first candle. If you have a candle, please come forward.
I'm Paul Kanosian. 18 years ago in this very room, I was married.
Wow. Okay, congratulations on that. Next. Oh, I've seen this crowd somewhere before.
So these kids this weekend participated in the first 5 sessions of the Our Whole Lives programs, lifespan sexuality education at age-appropriate levels. And so these are 4th and 5th graders, 9 and 10-year-olds. They participated in the first 5 sessions this weekend here in the back. They were here Friday evening for 2 sessions. They had spaghetti dinner in between. Then they were here Saturday. They had Moe's lunch delivered and snacks the whole time. And 2 things, y'all paid for it. And they are here to say thank you. I'm here to ask them to say thank you. They had a good time. Can we say thank you?
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the other one is that Nancy and Bethany taught the class, and there is no way we can say thank you enough for the work that they did and the sacrifice they made to just be here working with other people's kids for a weekend, their Friday night and their whole Saturday morning. So if we could yell as loud as we can, thank you to them. And if y'all could please clap for Bethany and Nancy and just tell them thank you again and again and again. So thank y'all. All right, you can light.
Hey, Bud.
Hi, I'm Bud. I'm still quite saddened and shocked by the fact that Jimmy Buffett's left us. But I wanted to say thank you to the caring committee here, because since we have taken Janice in, they have been very kind to us, especially you, Jane, and JP. I really want to let you know that we appreciate all your love. My wife's mother, as I told you a couple of weeks ago, had a bad fall, broke her leg. We was very worried about her having anesthesia at her age. We was very worried about complications to the operation. She had to have a stainless steel hip put in, but nothing went wrong, and she is recovering greatly, and we are very happy about that.
This is a candle of joy and concern. I just found out my youngest has been accepted to join the Army. He leaves for basic training on October the 3rd. It's a candle of joy because it's a high calling. That's what Odin asks of us, to put ourselves before our fellow man. And it's a candle of concern because he may actually, essentially, make the ultimate sacrifice.
Any other candles? Karina?
I don't know if I can handle this since my Hollywood days. I wanted to share that I started in this place in 74, 76. Was a regular person, and I met Ron Edge at that time, and he's been one of my best friends ever since. And now Darn is moving away, and I don't know how to handle that. It's a long time going. Thank you.
Good morning. I am set up here to note that Chuck and Bud both had birthdays over the last week, and none of us were able to attend last week because, unfortunately, Miles and I brought COVID home, which kept them from seeing her mother as well. So just as they showed their gratitude, I want to say happy birthday. And I didn't get the word out in time to ask people to wear their tie-dye, although a few did. And instead of happy birthday, if you could just join me for the chorus of Imagine. You might say I'm a dreamer, please join me, but I'm not the only one. I hope one day you'll join us and the world will live as one. Happy birthday.
I'm Don Cooper, and you're used to seeing me in the foyer, but the Ann Espinosa, who is usually there helping out in the foyer, hasn't been there most of the summer. But there's a story behind that. When at one of the worst of the hurricanes that hit southern Florida this summer, the house of her brother was destroyed. So she spent time down there and basically bought him a house and helped him put it together. And when she came back to Columbia, she had sort of was repaid for that because she had to have oral surgery, which turned out to be a fairly miserable business. And she is staying home most of the time so far. But we have to recognize her great kindness and generosity, which I saw many times in working with her, but they're really remarkable.
This is a candle of concern for Annette Flavel, whose mother died soon after she got to Australia, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought we were sharing.
Oh, well, you go ahead.
I guess we are. Just turn around, so I'm going to pull you back so you can face. All right. Good morning. I'm Karen Brown, and this is my father, my stepfather, Ronald Edge, and he's getting ready to move to Minnesota, and he wanted to come say hola. And I just want to give you a little background. He's been enjoying life at Laurel Crest, and he has, his oldest son lives in St. Paul, Minnesota. He has 4 children, and one of his children has a child, and there may be more on the way. So this is a great opportunity for Ron to be surrounded by his family, his children, his son, his other son, Medj, will come visit a lot. You know, he gets around. And his grandchildren and his great-granddaughter from Chris's side. So I do want to say my dad has, as far as I can make out on the drive here, he's been a member of this congregation for more than 60 years. And don't swear me to it, it might be 62 or something. And he's participated in many roles here. He's been president. He's been in the congregation when it's met all over town, including someplace, I think on Gervais Street, which we don't seem to know where that is anymore. And he has served in many roles. He's been very involved in RE. I know he and my mother were very enthusiastic about the kids and would take them to Newberry to do rubbings on gravestones, and we're very eager to share the UU heritage and their interest. My dad often gave a State of the Universe address. There would be the state of the state, the state of the nation, and then we would get to hear what's new in the universe, plus get to learn about some silly things and amazing things, optical illusions and various oddball things, just because my dad thought they were fun. And just about everything he does is because it's fun. And I would say being a member and participating in the UU congregation with these wonderful people, he's done it because it's fun and it's joyful. Would you like to say anything, Ron?
What was that?
Would you like to say anything?
Which one?
Would you like to say anything to the congregation?
Oh, I always like to sing. But what would you like to sing?
Would you like to say anything?
Yes.
What would you like to say?
I'd never thought.
Okay. Well, after the service, there'll be a little place over on the other side where hopefully people will come say hello and wish him well on his trip to Minnesota.
Thank you for the accordion, filling us with joy with the accordion and Hogwarts.
Oh, Nancy's talking about thank you for the playing of the accordion, cheering up so many occasions with the accordion, playing it out in the yard and during the May Fest even. And you said Hogwarts. Oh, yes, he was a professor at the Hogwarts camp. He would bring a cotton candy machine, just all things fun.
Mary said she has a card there if people want to write a note.
I'll push you forward and back.
Oh, you have.
We have one more left. Hi, Nancy Shillington Perez. And this candle is for David Bryan. Where are you? David is back. After like a 3-month absence. He's often your very first face that you see at the front door. And I just have looked forward to it for so long, and we're so delighted that his wife, Lynn, is well enough now that she can get around on herself. Welcome back, welcome home.
And we light one final candle for those joys and concerns that are too deep to express, that remain silent in our hearts. And now let's pause for a moment of silent meditation to ponder on these joys and concerns we've just heard.
This morning, as is so often the case, Reverend Stephen's words speak to my mind and my heart, and I feel called to change the closing hymn to one that will really, I think, complement his message. If you can turn to hymn number 354, We Laugh, We Cry, in your gray hymnal, and stand as you're willing and able to join me in singing.
We need
Please remain standing for the closing words and the benediction. The closing words come from Forest Church, like the opening words you heard today. God is that which is greater than all and present in each. And when that which is present in you relates to that which is present in all, you are sustained. You are billowed by the ocean of divinity, and you are made safe. There's a great degree of safety in being a part of rather than being apart from. It's from Forest Church. Please join us in saying the benediction as we extinguish the chalice. May the blessings of truth be upon us. May the power of love direct us. And the peace of His qualities sustain us. Till we meet again. This concludes our service. Thank you again for joining us, especially you visitors. You're welcome to stay and enjoy light refreshments provided by the kitchen committee in the back. So please adjourn to the social hall, grab a drink, and enjoy visiting with each other. Again, welcome to everybody.